My fantasy book just published. I wrote the first draft of that book actually before I started the Hellbent series. So I ended up actually writing Sanctuary of the Shadow, which is Elemental Emergence book one. I actually wrote that before the Hellbent series. And yeah, I just spent a lot of time researching that book and a lot of time put it into the world and like defining the rules as every fantasy writer understands. And it was definitely exciting and a really great time. And like, I enjoyed it. But I feel like this book was, the inspiration came from like a series of different really random events. So I used to do a lot of touring with my band and we just driving. Well, I'm from Canada. So we're like, you drive 8 hours to your next gig. It's like a lot of driving. So there's just like, I've just driven across Canada because of that, it's got to have been like over 10 times now. And there are certain like, at the end of a summer tour, like it's kind of like my brain is like full of like a collection of jumbled memories of nature and like, exciting things. Cause we would always make sure we'd stop and, swim in the glacier lake or whatever, wherever we were. So there was like a few little moments like in that book in Sanctuary of the Shadow, there's like this vision that the lead character Harrow has where she's like swimming in like water. And I actually had this like defining moment where I was swimming in a lake and I like did exactly what she did. And I like looked up at, like I had my eyes open and then I looked down and it was like dark and it turned black or whatever. And like that just stuck with me randomly. And then another thing is the male character's name is Wraith, but like with an R. And when we were driving in Northern Ontario, I just like saw a little sign and it said like Wraith Road. And there's like this tiny little like township called Wraith in Ontario, but it's not even a real town. It was like one house in a post box. And I was just like, that's such a cool name, like for a hero in a romance novel. So that stuck with me. And then, so it's like all these different little things that when I started to write that book, I was just like pulling. And like a lot of the locations in the book are inspired from places I've been. And then the circus thing, like the first time Montreal is like the circus, one of the best places for circus in the world. Like Cirque du Soleil was from here. And it's like, it's just, there's a lot of amazingly talented people. And yeah, the first time we went to some circus shows here, I was like blown away at how, like I have friends that work in the circus here and it's like so normalized when it's like, you're like, what? You work at a circus? Like, well, that's crazy. But so yeah, I thought, oh, I'd love to write about that. And yeah, it just kind of all came together and I don't even know how it happened. Yeah, the first book we have Harrow who lives at the circus and her best friend Malika is like the like star acrobat. So the second book is going to be about Malika. There's three for sure. I'd like to do a couple more, but they're standalones. So like we could have, a lot or just a few, but I do have kind of like a plan for where I want the overarching series to go. So yeah, we'll see how many books I need to fit that in.